like the production for everything. Like if you listen to everything, I do about 90% of it. Like 90% of it is, and then maybe like the other 10 is maybe just having people listen to it, or instead of me adding all the drums, I would have someone else add all the drums. My homie Wishley, he'll normally do that for me. But for the most part, like Bleed, that's all me, man. Just like sitting there, just working that out. My Yute too as well. My Yute is all me. But then I did have my homie come in and add like these different drum elements to the record. But yeah, and that all comes from just once again, man, just absorbing information, man. Like my Yute, and if you listen to my Yute and Bleed, there's like this soundtrack element, like a score element to the record. Like if you remove the vocals, you know, the record still speaks to you, and that's what I want. I want that production to speak to you. And so for me, just to make a record with 808s and hats, it's just not in me to do, man. I do believe that sound and sonics and space can provide a story as well too. So in regards to those records, that was definitely inspired by, once again, by scores and soundtrack, and that came from me being inspired by Hans Zimmer. At an early age, I was introduced to Hans Zimmer. He did the scores for like Lion King, Tears of the Sun, Transformers, and I was just how big and how grand his music sound. Hold on, give me 1 second, my friend. Yeah, but being that his music is so grand and so big, you know, like I'm just kind of drawn to that element, to that sound. So I would definitely say that is something that production-wise, it definitely inspired me. You can like hear it all through my production, just like the big, grand music production aspect of things. Yeah, no, I was definitely working on production first most of the time. Like I'm gonna say majority of the time I was. Because that's always been my goal. I've always wanted to be like a music producer, you know, especially coming from the era, like, you know, like with the Dark Child and the Timbo and the Pharrell and the Kanye's and the, you know, like the Neptune. I mean, man, Danger. Man, I came from that, like that from production. And what you notice is that they all have their own space. You know, like you wouldn't. It's like you can't really compare Kanye production to a Timbo production. It's they're in their own space, you know. So you have to kind of essentially be willing to enter that space. You know what I'm saying? So for me, being at that age, and I think everybody at that time too, I think that was like a good time where people didn't mind really like kind of just jumping from space to space and just being able to absorb just different forms of hip hop. So I say that to say, like, I think the reason why I do produce the way that I produce is because I feel like that space, like these multi spaces in hip hop, is not really there anymore. Like things kind of sound the same sometimes. I'm not gonna say all the time, but there's definitely some producers out there who are definitely in their own space. But I do believe that like producers, they provide the canvas, you know, like we provide the canvas and then the artist comes on, and, you know, and at that time, like Dark Child, and let's say Dark Child and Danger, like, you know, or Dark Child and Timbo, like those guys, they had, their canvases were completely different. You know, like you have one that was, you know, white and the other one was blue, whatever, you know, whatever color it was, and you use that as your canvas. And it's like, for me, it's like I want to have my own space. You know, like I want, when you hear the record, you go, oh, that's definitely a Beni production. Like he definitely did that, or oh yeah, oh, like those vocals, or the way that definitely has to be a Beni production there. Whereas opposed to just, you know, everything kind of sounding the same and constantly having hats and snares and 808s is I think especially now, I think is now definitely a good time to experiment and do things, because I mean, obviously the pandemic, and people are now listening to a bit more music more than usual, and kind of are looking for different tunes. But yeah, I would say that era, that time, that's what inspired the production, and I latched onto that for quite a while. And then maybe like a couple years ago, I started like making my own demos and stuff like that, and it's been doing good so far. Hopefully with the right timing and patience, it'll definitely go a bit further. It's turned into like it's a hustle too, you know, like making beats now. It's also a hustle. So you can make, you know, people are making 100 beats a week, you know, and hopefully one kind of sticks. And that guy, the people that add those, I mean, not everybody does that, you know, it's just, I feel like people do it so that way, you know, that it's their work, but also too, is because like people do it because that's the hustle, like that's the hustle aspect of it, you know? And I've never really got into that side of it. And I mean, I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence because at the same time, hey, it's helping people eat, you know. So I can't knock that hustle, you know. So I mean, I do believe that obviously with every industry there's a hustle. So, and that's a part of it, you know. Those the people that make the 808 snare and hat records, you know, like that's just a part of the hustle, and you can't really knock them for it, you know.